All right, hey, what's going on, friends? This is Sky here, aka Trylon, and I'm here with my boy RJ. He's my right hand man while I play Dual Universe. I've got a new series here, all right, and basically it's called Trylon Chatter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick different subjects involved with the Dual Universe game, and we're just gonna talk about it. It may not be negative, it may not be positive. Who knows? We're just gonna, talk candidly with the community and go from there. If you guys are interested, I go live all the time. I'm gonna do this live, so if you guys want to get involved in the chat while we're discussing these things, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'm gonna post it up on YouTube. So without further ado, I'm gonna let RJ introduce himself. Again, he's my right hand man, and take it away, RJ. What you got, man? Who are you?
Yep. So I'm RJ. I've known Sky for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years now. We've been playing all sorts of different games together. We got into Dual Universe together. I mean, he actually got me into it back before pre-alpha dropped. And I was an early backer with the game. And yeah, I've been playing games with him ever since. So we're super excited that beta finally dropped and super excited that we can stream and grow this community.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, RJ. Okay, so
Yep.
the way this is going to work is we're going to pick topic or topics, and then we're just going to talk about it, basically, our viewpoints. Now, again, I need to remind everyone this is just really mine and or his. Like, he may have a different view than mine, too. So don't take it as, we're not developers. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. You may not agree. You might agree. It's whatever. But this is just kind of our opinion on some certain aspects of the game. And today's topic is going to be industry. All right, we're going to talk about some changes that happened with industry. So, I'm going to try and break it down kind of simple style. And RJ, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or you can kind of agree or disagree if I'm explaining it right. So, previously, when I say previously, through beta there, the server was having some issues, right? I think when you were trying to dig, you would get some what is it? Operation pending? Is that the term, RJ?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you would get that operation pending. Maybe there were some lag issues. I don't know all the specifics because
There
I'm
was also a lot of other issues with actual industries having server errors as well. They just couldn't keep up. They would stop randomly and just couldn't keep up with demand.
That's right. Okay, so yeah, those were issues as well. So basically, they were having all these problems, and it seemed like the root of it, or the majority of the issue, involved the industry. So what Nova Corp did is they so there's ticks, right? It's called ticks. Is that what it's called, RJ? Like a
Yep.
tick? Okay. So the server was ticking rapidly and often with all this industry going on all over the server, right? One shard. So all this data is flowing somehow, some way, and it's just like overloading the servers. At least that's how I understand it, right? Is that right, RJ?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
So
too much data, too many ticks, too many pings to the server by so many industries that were set up.
right. So go ahead and explain to the community here what does it appear that Novacorp did to solve this issue?
So essentially, what they've done is they increased the amount a recipe requires in an industry. One of the big ones is the honeycomb industry. You actually need to have 1,800 liters of any given product to create 180 liters of honeycomb, which is kind of a big issue because a lot of times you don't need that much honeycomb, especially if you're trying to recreate a blueprint or um, you only want a few voxels of something. So that was a big one. And then other recipes, it seems like they've scaled it up and down on different things. So say you're making a batch of pipes. If you have a bunch of industries making pipes, they've actually made it so um, some of them will actually double the recipe or triple the recipe depending on how many industries are running. So it could be that you're making a lot more pipes in a batch than you're planning, or any other particular part.
Okay, so question for you, RJ. If is there a workaround? Is there any kind of workaround to reduce the amount, or is it literally if you create that industry and you want that part, you're gonna have to make that minimum amount, which is more than it used to be, which may not
It's
be one.
really the only workaround would be using the nano pack,
Okay.
and a lot of things can't be crafted in the nano pack. So anything that's crafted in the nano pack is still the same recipe that's shown.
Okay.
Um, but other than that, no.
All right.
It's kind of what the industry decides and what the server demands at that.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, that being said, right, I just want to make it clear from my perspective, I would rather have these higher requirements to craft these items and a server that's really smooth than have a server that has all kinds of hiccups constantly and have the potential that the industry is going to work the way you want it. Because it wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't even working, because it was just too much. So, like, I don't think they had any other choice, right? That was, I mean, it seems like they didn't have another choice.
Yeah, I mean, it was either that or, ramp up the server power, which is, significantly more expensive on
Right.
their end to do.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense. So, now, so that's great. I'm happy they made the change. I don't disagree with it. I hope it stays, um, unless there's another solution where they can make sure the server runs smoothly and we can create. Excuse me, sorry about that. And we can create smaller portions. Now, let's move on to the next part of the same topic, which I want to cover, and that is what about I think I'm drawing a blank. So what about the server? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now. The server, the ticks.
improve.
No, not improvement. It was dang, I flatlined because I looked at Hellraiser's message and I totally blanked. I brain farted on the topic. Dang it, Hellraiser! No, it was, what was it, man? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank here. So we went over. Okay. So like the negatives. I don't know why it took me so long to figure it out. The negatives, right? So what
Oh
about
yeah.
like what is so the server's working, right? Like you have to make a little bit more stuff. What is it hurting? How does this hurt it? What is it hurting? And to me,
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
me
go ahead.
from my
Yeah, you do it.
perspective, it's honestly it's the little guys. And when I say little guys, like let me elaborate. So it's like solo people or really small orgs. So to me they have to work twice as hard, right? For some of these things to be able to craft them. So they have to dig twice as much or three times as much, whatever the amount is, and to get that stuff. Whereas these larger orgs, they have the manpower, they have a lot of the tools, they've already established themselves. So to me, like a lot of that stuff that they changed is going to make it harder for people starting out or solo people or really small orgs. And that's the only, like to me, the only significant downside to that change that they've made. RJ, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there a little bit more you want to change in there? Tell me about the negatives, if you will, on that change.
Yeah, so I definitely agree that it's going to hurt the smaller people in the end. Now it seems like what they've done though is after playing with it over the last week here, it seems like what it is it actually changes the recipe demand based on how the server is acting at the time. So if the server is, not having a lot of load on it, it seems like, instead of making 26 pipes, it's going to make 13 pipes if you have the bonus, I guess is what I'm doing. So sometimes it'll double your recipe, but sometimes it'll do the normal recipe. It really depends on the server load at the time is
Okay.
is what I've found. But yeah, it's definitely tougher for the small guy, and I do agree with you.
Okay. So I guess that seems like the only negative. Now, again, I just want to reemphasize. I feel like it's probably still the right call. I don't know if there's a better solution. I do not have the experience or the skill set to know RJ a little bit more so than me, or I guess he's that way. So RJ a little bit more so than I do, just because of his professional background. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that covers kind of what we wanted to talk about, which was the industry change. And in the future, we're going to have more talks and we're going to have different topics. We also are happy to have any guests, okay? The criteria for the guests, obviously, you have to have a decent mic, be prepared to speak. And then you also, we want you to be either a leader or an impactful player that plays a lot, or that's about it, really. Like, just someone that plays and has some knowledge in the game, that's interested in being part of the community here, my community here in Trylon, and everyone else in Dual Universe. And if you have any suggestions, recommendations, or something that you want to see us talk about, let us know. I try and keep the video anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes long. And yeah, RJ, RJ, go ahead and say goodbye to everyone. I appreciate your time. So
Goodbye. I'm glad to be on stream. It's
yeah,
pretty exciting.
yeah, we were excited to do this. We've been working on it for a while. Just a friendly reminder, I stream almost every day. I kind of avoid the weekends. They seem to be a little bit quieter. And then obviously I have my YouTube channel where this is going to be posted. But if you guys want to talk to me and you want to, see a topic that you'd like us to discuss, please drop it in the comments below or stop by the stream and let me know, and that'll be the next one. I haven't picked up a schedule for how often I'm going to do these. It's more about what content is introduced or we want to talk about at the moment, not necessarily once a week or twice a week or once a month or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate it, guys, and everyone take care. I'll see you later.